Please don't eat the shrimp, okay?
Yes, stay away from
I know, but I kind of can't do it.
But it really taught me, your wedding taught me a lot because, you know, we had the guys here, and then we had the girls here, and there were so many.
Hi, I am Jennifer Ball. I am one of the co-authors of the Planners Unplugged book, where 18 of the most amazing women got together and collaborated to tell their stories, that the whole wedding planning journey and becoming a planner is a lot more difficult than just the cake tastings and pretty flowers that you see on wedding day. So we all got together, created this amazing book where we really just kind of shared our story of how we got to where we are. Not how to become a planner, but how we got to become the planner we are today. So here's our journey. I hope you enjoy it. Whether you've been at that venue 100 times or it's your first time walking into it, treat it as if it's the first time you're walking into it. Okay. Because every time you go in there, it's a new event. Right. Because the thing is so different. Every time you're at an event, you can't guarantee what those 100 guests are doing. The day of the event, you're being reactive. Because you're going to react to 100 bodies going 100 different directions. So it doesn't matter if you've been to that facility 100 times.
But they all were great. They all brought great out, you know, and it was kind of funny because, you know, in this industry, we'll pick a couple people and we'll know their names, but by the time we were done, like, I know all of them. And then I would call them by their nicknames, because my thing is that I ask for the bridal party information. I want to know who everybody is before I show up, so I know who I'm working with, or if there's anything that I need to know about.
I'm here tonight because Jennifer Ball is one of my professors, and she lets us come volunteer at her events. She asks us to come help out, and she shares tips with us and teaches us things, how to set up, how to tear down, and just little tips and tricks that have helped her succeed, and things that kind of put her over the top over other people. And so I wanted a learning experience, and I definitely wanted to support her. She's done a lot of incredible work and a lot of inspiring things, so it's nice to be here to help her out so she can enjoy the event well.
Hello, my name is Florence Beckwith, and I am the owner of Fabulous Event Concierge here in Greensboro, North Carolina. I am here tonight to support two wonderful women in the event planning industry, Jennifer and Marion, who have been just fantastic people in my life. They have inspired me and they've motivated me, and they're just awesome women of God, and I just wanted to be here to support them tonight for this awesome occasion.
I'm here to support Jennifer this evening and Marion, but I'm really excited to see where Jennifer goes. I'm excited to see how much more she can grow, and I'm excited to see how I can grow with her.
Why am I here tonight? I am here to support my mentor, Jennifer Ball, and also Miriam. I started in the wedding industry in 2015, and Jennifer, she was actually my teacher. I was in her first class back in 2014, and she has really impacted me in a wonderful way.
So my name is Blair Hutchinson, and I was invited by Jennifer and Miriam to come and support their book. I work with Jennifer with the Not Your Average Events team, and I'm very interested in their story and possibly becoming a consultant underneath Jennifer, and then maybe branching out, or I don't know yet, but maybe staying under her. But I'm interested in everybody's story and just how they got where they are and what obstacles that they faced, so that maybe I can be a part of their teams here in the Triad as well.
Good jokes. I'm pretty sure he's laughing at me 99% of the time.
She laughs the guy since
I mean, yes, but still, man, I really...
Diane Hilliard. I am the owner of Everlasting Events and Wedding Decor. I am an event planner. I do custom decor pieces and I do event design and execution, so to speak. Has the wedding industry changed since I started? Absolutely. It is evolving as I'm sitting here. A year ago, things were known as rustic. We have, in 2018, we've moved toward what is now called woodsy. The rustic aspect of it it's dying down, so to speak, and you're going to see more of the woodsy things in 2018.
Wow, the industry has definitely changed over the 18 years. I have started out, when I first started out, I was merely a site manager, just kind of learning about the business, learning about what it was all about. I was kind of like a fawn learning how to walk, I guess, for the first time, because even though I had a degree in event planning, I still didn't know anything about it. I loved the education I received. I loved all the information, but it's not until you actually have the hands-on experience do you really know what you're getting yourself involved in. And so just seeing how it shifted from me being a site manager to creating a day of coordination to doing more of the planning, and now really even doing more of the full service, really the logistics, the design, how is everything going to logistically come together on that day and create a guest experience. Now to even involving to more of a mentorship. Now that I'd like to say I'm more of a seasoned vet in the industry with my master status, it's one of those things that I love giving back and being able to tell some of those that are just coming up what to expect and how much has changed. Now you can Google and you can Pinterest how to do this, or what's the quickest way to do this, or what's the new way to do this. Back in the day, we didn't have Google. We were Google. So it's ironic how many people contact me privately, even a lot of planners today. It's hilarious how many planners contact me on the DL, or they say, I went to your website and I just went directly to you because I already knew you knew the answer. You've been there, you've done it. And I take that to heart. That really makes me feel like I'm doing something right in this industry and I'm leaving a legacy behind because I can give that knowledge without looking it up. I've lived it. And I think that's something that's a little different from the day I started 18 years ago to now where I'm at now, because now it's so easy at our fingertips. And I can't wait to see what's going to come down the pipeline.
The wedding industry, since I've been in the event planning world, it just seems it changes really fast paced, and it always goes to a more modern. When I started in this field, it was in the modern, clean cut stages, and it feels like it's gone back to kind of the very classic, the outdoorsy. You see the really rustic weddings, and you just see a lot more of that. You obviously still have all the glamour and glitzy weddings, but instead of having all of those modern and chic weddings that are just kind of look flawless, you have the weddings that just embrace the flaws of nature and the beauty of it, and it just looks a lot more rustic, and just kind of brings out all the beauty within the event itself, the people that are there, and its surroundings.
I see the wedding industry heading more toward everybody as a whole educating each other, and trying to become more of a network group, a tight-knit group. We have to do community over competition because we have these events that we have to do and we have to work together. So I see it more on an educational level, and it falls back into we have to pretty much take bits and pieces and make things work as a whole in this industry as not, because I've seen in the past where things were working as a whole, and I see more and more networking. I've seen it tonight.
The wedding industry, like we've been talking about how much it's been evolving, it's only going to become more involved. It's going to become more interactive. I think there's going to be a huge way of people being able to come to your wedding from all over the world that might have not been able to come to your wedding. As fast as technology is evolving and coming apart, I think you're going to have guests Skyping in, FaceTiming, and you're going to feel like they're literally at your wedding. I can definitely see them even making the little figurines where you think they're there, but they're really not, but you're going to really feel like that person is there even though they can't be there. I think where 3D printing is coming into play, I think you're going to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to just print that centerpiece. Oh, I'm going to print that. I'm going to print this. Oh, I need a cake stand. Let me go print that real quick. So I think where we're evolving to in the industry is going to be where technology is going to take over. We're going to be able to see it at a faster pace. But at the same time, I think everybody wants to customize it. They don't want the wedding that their friend had. They don't want the wedding their mother had. They want their wedding. And I think that's one thing Not Your Average Events really specializes in. We take the time to listen to what our couples want. And so we're customizing each and every little piece and detail to make it their wedding, using today's technology, using any opportunities that we have to make it a more unique wedding tomorrow than it was yesterday.
Okay, my name's Elizabeth Larson, and my business is Elizabeth Larson Photography, and I'm based in the Triad. Well, I've been in business since 1993, so it's changed dramatically. In my industry, it's been primarily changing from film to digital.
Small little video just about kind of the event world, the journey, because everybody always thinks it's like rainbows and butterflies and that it's cake tasting.
But then when I got it in my hand, I'm like, and still at that moment, it just didn't register. I mean, like, I'm standing here now and I'm like, yeah, you wrote a book, you go ahead.
Have I had any obstacles? That's what this book is all about, 110%. This book, when I first started writing it, I wasn't quite sure what my story was going to be. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it positive. I wasn't sure if I was just going to, fluff it like a lot of people do. They kind of pretend like everything's perfect, especially on social media. You think everyone is this confident, bold, they are the best at their game. Well, that's because that's all they put out there. They're not transparent, they're not translucent, they're not watered down and tell you exactly what it's really like. And in this book, I really left it all on the pages. Being bullied in the event industry is something that absolutely almost broke me. It almost didn't want me to be the planner I am today, because I was told constantly that I was doing it wrong, or I needed to learn more, or I needed to be stronger, or it was kind of like what I like to call the whack-a-mole kind of day. And it was someone who was micromanaging me, telling me how I should do my job their way, not the way I felt the need to do it, in my style and how I felt my clients needed it done. And so being able to overcome the bully, really only made me more hungry. I say that in the way of now, that's why I'm constantly educating myself, why I'm constantly getting another educational level, while I'm going back to school, while I go and get a certification, while I want to be a part of these associations and associate myself with the greatness, because the only way I become great is because I am surrounded by greatness. So I think if you have a bully in your life, you've got to find a way to basically remove that situation, remove the negativity, surround yourself with positive influences, and that's really where it's going to come from, is really just putting yourself out there and making sure you're surrounding yourself with those that you want to be with.
Have I had any obstacles in the way throughout my journey? Absolutely. Anybody that tells you that they haven't is not being truthful. I was the new kid on the block when I started this journey, and learning how to network and where to network and who to network with, and find vendors that you could work well with, and even the ones that you don't work so well with, but yet their work is good, so you can't deny your client that vendor. With that being said, I've had obstacles of being the new kid on the block that people were like, nope, don't know her, I'm not going to work with her. So you have to work your tail off, is the best way I know to put it, and show that you are dedicated to what you're doing, and to get a thick skin. I mean, I can't say it enough. If you don't have a thick skin in this industry, you're gonna have to figure it out really quickly, or you're gonna have to do some soul searching. It's in my chapter, and same verbiage that I just said.
Yeah, go fun with the stairs. I go upstairs and then I go upstairs.
Did you hear the beginning of me again? Because I like videos of that at your house playing with Barbies and fighting over each other. Like every
For someone.
Yeah.
Because if not, your day is not gonna be your day because you're so stressed out. So you did the best thing ever by hiring her and having her there as your.
I agree fully.
Man, the biggest influence in my business. A long time ago, I could, list off a long list of people. The further I get into it and the more I've actually looked into it this past year, first and foremost, I put my faith in God, 100%. The more I've put my company into His hands, the more I've trusted Him, the better the clients I've received, the better referrals I've received, the better the blessings I've received. It's incredible the opportunities that I've received because I've just put faith in Him. I've just said, you know what, I'm just going to give it to Him. And whether you're spiritual or you're religious, you've got to put your faith in something. You've got to put your belief in something that someone somewhere is kind of guiding you and really creating you to be a better version of yourself. If not, people aren't going to want to surround yourself with you. They're not going to want to be a part of your team. They're not going to be a part of your A-team on event day. They're not going to be associated with you in the press. They're not going to want to be associated with you at an association. You're going to find yourself at a cocktail table all by yourself. And you don't want to do that. So in that sense, I try to use my faith as a way to keep me positive, to make me a positive role model, to make sure that I'm keeping myself in check, to better myself. Other than that, my mentors, they have been a huge influence. Whenever I have an incredible idea for a journey, they are the first to kind of let me know, hey, that's a great idea, you should roll with it. So I definitely want to say thanks to all of my mentors, those that really have gotten me here today. Those would be the second. I think that would be a big influence on our company.
The person that has been the biggest influence in this business is also in this book with me. And not to say that others have not taken time and made an input, but Jennifer Ball has been my mentor. She did not know. And then also to mention another lady that is no longer with us, God rest her soul, Lee Pierce. She laid a foundation for a lot of us in this industry, that she made things happen when things weren't happening for her. She took this industry by a whim here in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Tricks? Secrets or advice? Advice? Don't do it. Run. Don't be a part of this. Find another day job. Whew! No, I'm just kidding. But there is a reason why we are, the top 5 stressful jobs in the world. It's because we're putting someone else's life in our hands every single day. I know, firefighters run into a burning building, policemen get shot at every day, firefighters, any of these kind of guys who really put their lives on hold for everyone else in that moment truly are the true heroes. But for us, we're just liable. Every single Saturday, I put 100 to 150 people, in my hands. I have to make sure those 100, 150 guests arrive on time, make sure they're safe, and make sure they get home. All while they make sure they have one hell of a time. Because my job is to create an experience. And with that, you have to have a production team. You have to bring everyone together and create that moment. It just doesn't happen. You actually kind of force it to happen. If you plan it right, it can be magical. If you forget something, it can be the worst day ever. And so that's where the stress comes into play. So make sure you are dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, and really looking at the event as a whole and what you can do to make it memorable. Make sure there's a couple few moments that really stand out that are key moments. Tips and trade secrets, really, when it comes down to it, find a mentor. Find someone that you can trust. Find someone that you can reach out to, that you can talk to behind the scenes, that's not going to share, your deepest, darkest fears. That's someone that's going to encourage you and not let you, go down the wrong path sometimes. So I think you really need to make sure you're watching who you're surrounding yourself with. Again, it goes back to that whole who do you want on your team, and who do you want to be remembered as. And at the end of the day, that's really what you're going to be taking away.
I would say, starting with Jennifer, when I started out, I was absolutely nervous. I was a little afraid of the unknown. She pushed me, and she told me that I could do this. And she really made me believe that I really could do it, and that it was in me. I remember when I did my first wedding, I was so excited. I couldn't even call her. I had to email her and tell her that I was so excited because now I could call myself a wedding planner. And I was in tears while I was writing the email and when I sent it to her. But she has been so phenomenal. I can call her anytime, and she's there for me if I have any questions or concerns, or just sometimes just to say hello and see how I'm doing. She'll do that just to check on me. As far as Miriam, she has been a godsend. She's so sweet. I love her spirit. She's always positive. She's always trying to encourage you. And she doesn't meet a stranger. When she walks in the room, you know that her presence is definitely there. I truly feel like that she's become family, her and Jennifer both. I love being in this industry. I feel like that it is a sisterhood, and I'm so proud of both of them.
I really like the aspect of giving people an event that they can remember. So in life, what do you want to do? You want to have fun. Sometimes you want to, not everything to be work, and you need some play, and you need some aspect of life that you can look back and remember the good times. So I really enjoy putting on events and helping people achieve that goal and making it seem flawless and seamless, so they don't know, anything about anything behind the scenes, but just a good time at their event. So it's all about smiles and laughter and giving the people in the community what they want and love.
My favorite thing is the organization of it. I love the decor and I love pulling it all together, but I really love talking to people and actually doing the planning process, and I just love the organizing and how down to a certain date it can be, and that it's not something that's always up in the air or you're just waiting on somebody else for an answer, that you're kind of the one in charge. And I just love the organization behind it, of keeping everything in its own little place of how it should be, all of the elements of a wedding, and just kind of seeing it all fall into place. But definitely I still love all of the day of, the putting it together, just meeting with all of the clients and talking to them, but definitely the logistics and everything behind it would be my favorite part.
My favorite thing about the event industry really would be something that I'm really trying to encourage, and that would be just us collaborating with one another, us growing as a community. Joining ABC several years ago was probably one of my best decisions. I joined Triad Bridal Association before then, and now I'm a part of the chamber locally in Alamance County. And each one of those associations or organizations, I really love the networking that we get. I love the education that I get. I love the bonds that I have between the different members that are part of those association organizations. So I would say when it comes to the industry, I think it's really just the, us coming together as a whole. And I think if more people came together as a whole, this industry would be stronger.
My favorite thing about the event industry is that it's ever changing. You never get the same thing. It's never one person asks for a certain kind of flower and the next person might ask for the same kind of flower, but it's not going to be used the same way. And I love that it's never the same. It's always different.
I enjoy being creative, for one. I like working with different people. My job makes it more interesting that I get to work with so many different people throughout the industry, whether it be a vendor or a client, actually. So yes.
My favorite thing about the event industry is to see my clients smile, and to know that I have created the vision that they envisioned for themselves, to give them the day that they deserve and desired and wanted. So first and foremost, we want to thank each and every one of you here, because if you weren't here, we would not be where we are. You guys have played a very instrumental part into where we are. No matter how small or how big, you guys have laid our foundation. There are vendors here that I have not met, so please don't leave without me meeting you and getting your business card so we can network as well. I truly have to thank Sky, and she's probably going, why? Sky was actually in nursing school with me, which is part of my book. I met this cute little girl, because she was a teenager right out of high school, she had ambitions of becoming a nurse, and she literally was going to become a nurse. Like, I knew it was going to happen. However, my track got stopped. Along the way, we didn't lose track. This year, 2017, I got the honor of marrying her. So she gives me every bragging right of saying I had a bridal party of 32 people. And I got everybody where they were supposed to go without any hiccups of anybody knowing. Next person I have to thank is my husband in the back, who is always in the back and never goes forward. Without him, I would not be where I am today. He is my foundation. He is my rock. Sorry. Without him, I would not be standing here. He is the one that told me to leap. He is the one that told me to take my dreams and follow them when I told him he was crazy, but he validated that the day we got married. To this precious little jewel right here, Alexandria, and my other daughter who's left, I wouldn't be where I am today without either of them. They have helped me, spent many hours when I am having the event planning temper tantrum that we all have that is behind the scenes and nobody sees. So without her, I wouldn't be where I am as well. Florence, can't sit here and not thank you as well. She helped me with one of my most challenging moments in my life in 2017, and without her, I don't know what I would have done. Last but not least, to be standing here beside my mentor and to know that I am in a book with this woman is priceless. Because a little backstory, and I'm going to say it now because at the point in time I didn't have the guts to say it. I had somebody tell me that I did not earn this spot. They left me a voicemail, didn't have the guts to tell me who they were, and told me that my story was not worthy enough to be in this book. The reality is, my story is in this book, so it is worthy. I walked into her office that day for something else, totally different. It was to pick up sandal stuff. I looked at her and I told her the story. I was in tears. She threw me the tissues, and I'm having a moment. She didn't really have the time to give to me. And she said, "You deserve your spot." And I've never seen this woman come unraveled. But at that moment in time, I watched her come unraveled in the sense that she was not happy with what was just given to me. It wasn't, she said, "No, you earn your spot. You get this spot." And I didn't understand at that time why she was so adamant about telling me this and how unhappy she was with what I had just delivered to her. Little did I know her story is about bullies. And so, to you, I would not be standing here without you and your guidance. Because guess what? I still got a lot to learn, and I'm going to be holding on to her coattail, like I said in Mexico. I said, "Ooh, there's your shoes. I'm going to go put them on." And she goes, "You can have them." I have the same ones, so I'll wait for the other shoes. But without her, I would not be where I am either. And a lot of you that I've worked with in this room, it doesn't go unsaid to sit here and down it. By no means. You all mean something sentimental to me. And to Hannah, girl, you getting your internship. That is my intern come May. You can't have her. She's mine. But I appreciate every last one of you for being here.
Awesome.
Y'all go ahead and give her applause. We earned that moment, that's for sure. So I just really wanted to say thanks so much, to everyone that's really been involved to my journey. It started out years ago. For most of those, had no clue I wanted to even be an event planner. Thought I was going to be a teacher. Now I'm going back to school to become a teacher. Shocking, right? But everyone always thinks wedding planning is all about, beautiful flowers and cake tastings, and you always have fun every weekend, and that's all it's about. They really don't have a clue of the struggles we go through as event planners. And a lot of people, when we started writing about this book and started talking about this book, everybody thought it was about a how-to guide. How do you become a wedding planner? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, that book has been written over and over and over again. And every time you'll still learn something new, every time you read one of those chapters in one of those books. Mm-hmm. But this book dives a little more deeper than I think any of us ever expected. Yeah. It really brought 18 women together, and we became really a sisterhood.
It is.
Deeper than I could have ever imagined.
Our own sorority.
Really.
We
100%. So, it was funny how we all started talking about these stories and how they came together as a whole. And there always was this underlining kind of wording, this underlining kind of faith that just kind of bubbled up to the top every single time. And I don't know how faithful you guys are, but the more I wrote this chapter and the more I kept asking, I kept asking God, I was like, what is my story? Where am I going to go with this story? I have tons of them. I've been doing this for 18 years, goodness gracious. Do I talk about all the funny stories? Do I make it fluffy and make it pretty and just kind of keep it nice and simple how everyone tends to think I am? Everybody thinks I'm this big, confident person who stands in front of you, with my cute little heels on and my, my mohawk, and they always think I have this confidence about me, and they're like, wow, that girl's got it going on. I want to be like her. But what y'all don't know is what my struggle was all about. Coming up in this industry, I had a bully in my life who told me that I should go work for someone else when that company closed down, that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I still had a lot to learn. Well, the funny thing is now, I'm now teaching at 2 different schools. I think I might know what I'm doing. And I did become a teacher. So it's amazing how if you have an obstacle in front of you, I love looking out in this audience and seeing so many of my students, so many of my followers. And I know you guys have these obstacles coming in front of you. I know the paths that I remember sitting in, my office and talking to some of you guys about how your husband wasn't quite sure if they trusted you with this leap that you're about to take, and how they didn't support you, but how over this time, they're now becoming your biggest supporter, 100%. And you know what I'm talking about. And there's been times where I've talked to other people that I'm mentoring, and they have bullies in their lives who's telling them that they can't do this, that they can't be the best in this industry. Well, I'm the first to tell you there's enough business for all of us. Hence why I'm an open book. I'm an open book to anybody in this room, whether you are an event planner, whether you are a vendor. I want us all to grow as a whole. That's the only way our community becomes a better community. And so when I asked the good Lord as to what story I was going to write, I remember started out on the coast of North Carolina. I started writing it then, and I finished it up at Hico. But I kept asking myself, where am I going with this? And I literally left my story on these pages. And I remember walking away from it. I mean, I let the ink dry, and that was it. I pretty much dropped the mic on it. I was done. with that part of my chapter. And I left all that negativity back there, and I said I wanted to move in this positive direction. And I wanted to be the manager, the leader that I didn't get in this industry coming up. So that's why I try so hard to make sure that when I'm with my team, I'm constantly always inspiring. I'm constantly letting you guys kind of go a little bit beyond where you think you can go. I kind of push you to go a little further. Because I think we all have something to give this industry. With that being said, thank you so much for each and every one of y'all being here tonight. Whether you're part of our KYE family, whether you're a past client, past couple, whether you're a past vendor, or you're someone we're yet to still be destined to meet in some way or somehow, form, shape. I really just want to say thank you. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. We really want to say thank you so much. You guys, we really couldn't be here to put on this spread and put on this event to bring these few people together. All of us will never be in a room together again like this. Most likely we'll all be doing something different tomorrow. We'll be doing something different next week. So take that time when you're in a room with someone to get to know someone that you don't know. I'm going to challenge each and every one of y'all to find a way to be a better person tomorrow than you were yesterday. So with that being said, let's
We're
cut
gonna
some
cut
cake.
some cake.
Wow. Positive words for the 18 amazing planners that got together. Your stories, some of them gave me chills. Some of them I think I cried right beside you. Others, I'm cheering for you. And then there's still some, I think your story is still being written. I think this was just the beginning. So for you ladies, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this amazing sisterhood that we created. Thank you for, putting it out there, giving your story, and just being real, being honest. I think going into this, we all weren't quite sure what story we were going to share, but the words that kind of flowed, it meant that we created a bond. We told our story, we left our words on the paper, and I can't wait to see what our next path has set before us, because it truly, even though my chapter title is The Best Is Yet to Come, it really is. I really believe the best is yet to come for each and every one of us. So I want to wish each and every one of you guys a phenomenal season. I want to hope and pray that this is just the beginning of your journey, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for each and every one of us.
Positive words for any of the authors that I have today would be that regardless of whatever problems you face now, you're always going to get through them. They're powerful men and women, and it's amazing what you can do when you put your heart into it.
Positive words that I would give to the authors today, I would say keep striving for excellence. Continue to believe in yourself. Know that you got this. I know sometimes that the long hours and the days, and sometimes you can get tired, and then you have family, you have sometimes a significant other, and then it just seems like you can't do it all. But just always remember to remain positive, and just know that that you have others there to support you. We believe in you, and just continue to do your best, and just continue to strive.
Do I have any positive words to give to the authors today? Yes, I would say both Jen and Miriam are top in their industry. I've never worked with Miriam yet, but I have worked with Jen at quite a few weddings and events, and she's pretty much, I'd say, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's professional. She's patient, both with vendors and her staff and her clients. She knows what she's doing, and she's probably pretty much one of my favorite people that I get to work with. So, yeah, definitely.
I just want to say to Jennifer, God has taken you on an amazing journey, and I just want to let you know that you're where you're supposed to be. Stay encouraged, stay positive, and keep pressing and moving on, and you will reach your full destiny. And God bless you. To Marion, you are my heart, and you've been there for me, and I admire you and appreciate you so much. And I just want to encourage you to continue doing what God has destined for you to do. And God bless you, and I love you guys. Take care.
Some positive words that I have for the author is the one common denominator that we found while we were sitting at our book launch was we all centered around God. So keep that first and foremost in your life. So I want to say to all 17 of these ladies here, without you all, and Cheryl, who is not one of our co-authors, but part of the reason this book is out. I adore you all, mean the world to me. There is a sisterhood that we have created by creating this book. When life throws lemons at us, we have our lemonade stand, ladies. So I look forward to creating our friendships, our journeys, and seeing where they go. To Miss Jennifer Ball, what do I say about you? Without tearing up. Little did I know 2 years ago when this pink-haired mohawk lady popping into my first booth ever at a wedding show, little did I know what our journey was going to entail. Yes, you are my mentor. You have been my guiding light. You have been my reason, my voice of reason. You have been the one who has kept me going when I wanted to throw in the towel in a lot of senses. But most importantly, you are my friend. I adore you. I could not tell you. There is not enough words in Webster Dictionary that would describe how you mean and what you mean to me. So with that said, lady, you're never going to get rid of me. You're stuck with me, and I love you.